Hi, I'm Graeme Goodings, and thanks for sparing a few minutes to take a look at this video. After nominating for a position on the Crows board, I thought it might be a good idea to tell you something of my journey with the Crows. It started with the birth of the club back in '91. What a journey it's been, from that Atco hut where Bob Hammond and Bill Sanders and coach Graham Corns formulated a plan that saw us win 2 premierships within the first decade. But, as you well know, it wasn't all plain sailing. There were some pretty grim times. I remember the Goodings family. We had our seats in the northern stand. We were there every week at Footy Park. Often, I remember my 2 young boys. It was deep in the last quarter, with goals behind. The boys would say, "Dad, can we go home?" I always said, "No, we're staying to the bitter end. If you want to celebrate the good times, you have to be here to support the team in the tough times." And the payoff was, even in those lean years, Tony Modra's spectacular marks, the Roos' brute strength and the will to win, and the silky skills of Andy McLeod. And of course, the icing on the cake, 97 and 98 back-to-back premierships. How good were those grand finals? I remember the celebrations after the premierships, the reception, 100,000 people gathering outside the town hall. They were great memories. But I also never forget the despair after losing the 2017 grand final. That one really hurt. My wife, Eve, and I were lucky enough to sit with the supporters group behind the goals. The excitement and expectation turned to utter desolation as the game slipped away. It was a long, long drive home to Adelaide. But time heals all wounds, and the supporters group were all back and raring to go for the next season. There have been many highlights along the way. The AFLW side, already with 2 premierships, the most successful in the competition. In my experience, Adelaide supporters are the most loyal and turn up whether we're winning or losing. And the supporters group, the most hard-working and most dedicated in the competition. So, why after all these years have I decided to run for the board? I've taken a look at all the candidates, and I must say it's an impressive group, any of whom would bring a fine set of skills to the table. So why then vote for me? Well, I believe I have a unique connection with the club over more than 30 years. While I've never been fully employed by the club, I have worked closely with the administration. Through the premiership years and beyond, I hosted the chairman's functions, vice president's luncheons, club championships, gala auctions, and many other events. I worked closely with Bob Hammond, Bill Sanders, Stephen Trigg, and later Andrew Fagan. So while I had no day-to-day involvement, I got to feel the pulse and the inner workings of the club. For many years, I was involved in media training with the players, club legends like Mark Rasciuto, Andrew McLeod, Bernie Vince, Nathan Van Berlo, just to name a few. All have gone on to be very fine media performers. So that's my perspective from the club side. And from the members' point of view, well, I was honoured to be made #1 ticket holder for the Crow supporters group and came to see just how vital they are to the club. Banners for every game, barbecues, volunteering for any and every club event. The club only has to ask, the supporters group members will be there to support them. The group also sponsors players. The supporters group is the best. And the highlight every year for me is emceeing the Sportsman's Night. Whatever I've done with the club, it has been a labour of love. But one thing I learned, players will come and go. Administrations will change. But there is one constant. You, the supporters. You are the heartbeat of the Crows. I accept that an AFL club is a big multi-million-dollar business. But beneath that beats the heart of a footy club. The members and supporters must be heard. They need a sense of belonging. I believe the previous administration lost sight of that. Thankfully, a lot of that has now changed. Under Chairman John Olsen, CEO Tim Silvers and Coach Matthew Nix, it's gone a long way to correcting that. The club is certainly more inclusive, but there is still work to be done. And that I see as my role, a conduit between the club and you, the passionate members. And if elected, I look forward to speaking with you in an ongoing basis on how we can keep improving. I've been a broadcaster, a journalist, a video producer, a media mentor, but most of all, I've been a communicator. Let's open the channels of communication between the club and the supporters and get this club back to where it belongs, contesting premierships on a regular basis. Thanks so much for your time, and whoever you choose as a candidate, make sure you vote. And go you mighty Crows!